Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today we're going to make a fun shaker card with Pampered Pets stamp set, and I'll be using the dies that go with this as well, and the Sweet Conversations stamp set. All we're using from this is the Happy Valentine's Day. So if you don't want this to be a Valentine's Day card, you could use any other sentiment really from whatever stamp set that you prefer. I'm also going to be using the Layering Circles dies and the Sweethearts dies, and this does coordinate with that Sweet Conversations stamp set. And again, all I'm using from this is just the hearts, the smallest hearts, so it's not an absolute requirement that you have this. It's just a little extra fun. Okay, so let's start making our shaker card. This is really easy, and it's just a fun little card. So here again is that Pampered Pets stamp set. I'm going to be using this stamp, and inside the card I'll be using that one and this one. And then again, on the Sweet Conversations, I'm just using Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to start by pulling out my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to use that Layering Circles die that I was talking about to cut a circle in this Flirty Flamingo cardstock. This cardstock measures 4 inches. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, I've got my machine backwards. Let's turn all this around, shall we? Okay, so this measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And I want to make sure I'm leaving enough space for my, this stuff, my foam adhesive strip, to fit around it. So you don't need a lot of room, but I try to leave at least 1/4 inch, maybe up to 1/2 inch. And I think this is the 3rd largest. I'll have to double check. I've got that on my paper underneath, so it's wanting to slide. I think this is the 3rd largest circle from the Layering Circles dies. And while I have this piece out, I'm going to grab that Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. I love this embossing folder. I just recently got it, and now I want to use it to emboss everything. So I'm just going to place this in here, and it's okay if it's a little bit crooked on this one, because it's just random flowers throughout. So to emboss with the 3D folder, I just need plate 1, my embossing folder with my cardstock in it, and then plate 4 on top. I'm going to put this up for a little bit now. Hopefully you can see the detail. Oh yeah, isn't that gorgeous? I just love how that turns out. Okay, so I'm going to put all of this to the side for now. We will be using it again in a little bit, but for right now it can go away. And I'm going to grab just a scrap of basic white cardstock. So that one should be big enough. I'm going to get that puppy stamp and my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. I'm just going to ink him up real good. Then I'm going to stamp it. Hopefully I left myself room all the way around. I think I did. So I'm going to use the blends to color the dog. And I was just thinking the other day, I think I color this dog the same way every single time. So I'm just going to use the real red for his collar, the light basic black for his nose, and then for the rest of the dog, I'm using the light smoky slate. Usually whenever I color the dog, I use the more pointed end, not the brush tip. But for some reason, I opened the wrong end this time, and I'm just going with it. So I am doing quick, small strokes on purpose, just to keep it from being completely smooth, because, you know, a dog's hair, it's furry. It's not super sleek. Okay, now I think I'm just getting carried away. Alright, so I'm going to pull that Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back out again. This time I'm moving the paper that was under it so it doesn't slide around. I'm using plate 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to get that coordinating pet die. And I'm going to place it around the dog. Now, I don't want this to move at all. I do want it to just cut right around him. So to prevent it from moving, I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of washi tape just to keep it still. Okay, and while I have this out, let's see how he turned out. He's pretty cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a scrap of Flirty Flamingo cardstock. And all of those small hearts that I was talking about. And if you want even more, you could grab just this strip here. And then I'm also going to grab my basic black. Again, it's just a scrap. And the paw prints. So I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I'm going to cover those up and run those through. Okay. So I'm going to leave all of this just on this plate for now. Easy way to keep track of it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is grab my card base. So I have a real red card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5 inches, and then I have it folded over and scored at 4.25 inches. So I want to get an idea of where my center is going to be, the center of my circle. I'm going to take my liquid glue, and I'm going to take this sheet that the paw prints were cut out of. I'm just going to hold it still, and I'm going to put a dab of glue in one paw print at a time. So then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to grab the paw print that corresponds to this one. I'm just going to stick it in. This part's going to be kind of tedious, so I'm going to stop talking in just a second, and that way I can fast forward through this part. course, that is an optional step. I just think it's fun to have the paw prints in there, and you can place them any which way you like. That's just how I decided to do it this time. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the hearts. So I'm going to use 4 of those and then 3 of these. They're almost exactly the same. And I'm going to grab the Sparkle and Shine Sequin assortments. I'm just going to get a few pinches, maybe 3 or 4 of these sequins. These are some of my favorite sequins. I don't know if you can see this detail. I'll hold it up so you can maybe see it a little bit more closely. It's sticking to me good, isn't it? Okay, let's see if I can get this to where you can see it. So there it is. So you can see it's got stars. It's got your typical little sequins. It has circles, and they're silver and white and iridescent colors, and clear. There's these clear little, well, there's clear sequins, but there's also, I'm trying to see if I can find one. There it is. It's like a clear little bauble. I'm gonna need to focus again. There, can you see that? Just the little, it's like a half a circle, and it's just clear. Very fun sequins. I hope these stay around for a while. But we know they'll be here through June at least. Okay. So now I'm going to take this top piece off, and I'm going to use my tear and tape to attach a window sheet. This is a 3" by 3" piece of a window sheet. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just add the tear and tape straight to my cardstock. See that fly? I don't know where it came from. It has not been up here all day long. We're in the middle, or well, at the end of January. Like, there should not be flies. I don't understand this mess. And it's back. Okay, so I'm just trying to be real careful that I don't overlap my tear and tape. But I do want all of the, I want everything to be sealed up because I don't want my sequins flying out of here. Okay, that took longer than anticipated. I'm going to put that down. Now I'm going to grab my adhesive strips, my foam adhesive strips. And these are thicker than your regular, like, Stampin' Dimensionals. So you can't mix and match them. Try to see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to put this piece just right up here. Whoa, I don't want to hang it over though. Right up here at the top. And then I'm going to grab another piece, and I'm going to use it to go around the edges of my cardstock so that I can use it to just attach the whole thing so that it's all the same height. I'm just going to take this. So did you see how I put the sequins and things on while I had the hole open so that I could make sure I had them placed in the right spot? Now I can just put that right over it. And we've got a good shake, and you can still see those paw prints inside. So you might want to use a few more or a few less sequins and hearts. That's just the amount that I prefer. Okay, so now I'm going to get that dog. And I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the back. Place him right down here. I'm just gluing him straight on. Then I'm going to take a piece of real red cardstock. This is just a scrap. I have my stamp from Sweet Conversations. This is Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to stamp it with Versamark. Just right in the center. Well, towards the bottom of this real red cardstock. Then I'm going to take my black embossing powder, cover that Versamark. And then set it with the heat tool. Okay. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and trim off the bottom. Trim off this end straight. Going to angle this one. And then I'm just going to cut the top off. Okay. Now I want my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And 3 on the back of this should be just fine. Put that a little lower. Here we go. There is our card front with our little shake. Then for the inside, I have just a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to use that Tuxedo Black Memento ink again. And it says, "I hope your day is a real treat." I'm just stamping that towards the top center of the card. And then I have that stamp with the 2 hearts on it. This one's also from Pampered Pets. So I'm just going to stamp that over here on the side. And then get my Real Red Stampin' Blend again. And just color that in. Grab that liquid glue. It's my favorite adhesive. I like it because it gives me just a second to get my cardstock exactly where I want it and get it straightened up, because I am not good at putting these things down straight the first time. There we go. So, happy Valentine's Day with a little shake. I hope your day is a real treat, and I hope that you enjoyed this. And like I said, you can change this up. Happy birthday would be fabulous right there, or even congratulations, or thank you. Anything really. It's a great layout. All right, well, I hope that you're having a wonderful week. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Thursday, as long as my microphone cooperates, I will be going live on my Facebook page, and I would love for you to join me there. And then Friday, you can see my card from the catalog. And if there is a card from the catalog you would like to know how it's made, or if you have questions about what products were used, let me know, and I will try to do my best to add that to one of my Friday videos. Thank you so much for watching, and have a happy week. Happy stamping.